Quinn's RC. I'm so glad you joined me today because I have RC all-wheel drive 1.3-inch weighted beadlock wheels. Thank you, RC all-wheel drive. I just can't believe that their company's sending stuff for my tiny channel to review. It's just amazing, and I'm so grateful. Also, speaking of that, I have more big news. fairrc reached out and asked if I wanted to do some collabs. They sent me the stinger system for the CR18P Evo. Excited to try that out next. I've been running a poll on my community page on my channel, asking people which Evo should get the kit. So far, the amazing Rock Band is winning. I'll put a link to the poll in the description below. Make sure that you get your voice heard. After that, I have to unbox this. This is not the high roller, but this is the rusted camo mod with the rusted traxxas tracks from fairrc. This is one of the sickest mods out there. Then, after that, I have the fairrc souped up T-Hunter mod on the way. It's a limited run of 99. Which number will I get? You want to find that out too. So make sure that if you haven't subscribed, you subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't rung that bell, ring the bell. It's not going to bother you too much because I am not getting a ton of videos out with a lot of frequency. Back to the wheels. So these are made for the FCX24 and the FCX18. I wanted to try them out on the Evo, the CR18P Evo, but the size, 1.3 inches, actually causes them to hit the steering links. So I couldn't try them out there. I was thinking about what to try these on first, and I decided that the FCX18 LC80, you can see the unboxing I did for fairrc on this truck up there. I'll put a link to it there and in the description below. Make sure you open that in a new tab so you don't miss this video. But a lot of people think that the LC80 sits a little high, and all of these accessories, the roof rack, the lights, the snorkel, the spare tire, the pretty large bumper, all make this a little bit top heavy. So people have been lowering the stance of this truck by cutting out a few of the loops from their shocks, or printing off shock keys that allow the shocks to sit higher on the chassis, which lowers the body. Problem with that is if you're running super large wheels, you'll start to get rub on the fenders. I think these might fit the bill. Even though they're 1.3 inches across, the total diameter, including the tire, is 55 millimeters, which is about the same as the stock tire. So this might be what we need for this truck. You'll be able to run a smaller tire, but add weight down low to counteract all these accessories. And it will not be rubbing the fenders if you lower the truck to give it a little bit of a more realistic stance. One of the most annoying problems to solve with these little rigs that have portal axles is a lot of the 1-inch wheels don't fit over the portal covers, and so you have to do things like add wider hexes, or even kludgy things like rubber O-rings or washers in between the wheel hexes and the wheel hubs. You can check out my journey with the FCX24 when it first came out. Trying to solve that problem. But with these, they're 1.3 inches, so they won't have any trouble hitting the portals. If you're a scale enthusiast, widening your rig can make it look less scale. And then if you're a comp fanatic, having a wider rig makes it much more difficult to fit through those narrow gates. So these will give you weight and not widen your truck out too much. These are really heavy. These are 90 grams each. all four of them combined for 360 grams. The only other weighted wheels that I have in my limited collection are these Beadlocks 1-inch wheels on this rattled cage rusted mod. I should probably try these rusted tracks out on this rusted mod too. Something else to give you reason to ring that bell. One of the other nice features about this wheel is that these are not little bolts. They're indentations that are painted black. So it does cut down on the scale a little bit, but it also will allow your 5.5 millimeter wrench to fit in there. Whereas with other one-inch wheels that have the bolts on the outside of the wheel, it makes it very difficult to get a wrench in there. You end up having to file these down or to get special wrenches. The bolts are actually through the backside on these wheels. Speaking of bolts from the back, here's the back of the wheel, front. Here's the back. There are only 3 bolts in here. When they came to me, there were a few of the bolts in the bag. I'm not sure, but I think that they came out while in transit. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I did have one come out while I was just running the truck for this video, so I'm going to suggest that you use a little blue beadlock on those. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take them all out, and then I'm going to put them back with a little blue beadlock. So here's one taken apart. Here's the face. Here's the back side. Massive brass ring. And then you can see the foam here is really quite thin. There's not a lot there, but you'll see later they do pretty well on the rocks in my little backyard course. And then the tire. So a lot easier to put together than something like these trio with all the tiny little bolts on the beauty ring. And I've actually got the bolts inside removed so I can get to that nut. I just run them with no bolts in there. It's not as shiny, but it works. Here's the stock LC80 on my flipometer. In the forward climbing test, it managed to pull 48.5 degrees. In this next flip, you can see that it just couldn't do 49 degrees. Now that we've seen how it performs stock, let's get these wheels installed. Installation was a breeze. Take off the wheel nut, take off the wheel, put the new wheel on, tighten down the wheel nut. No worries about it hitting the portals. There's plenty of clearance. No worries about not being able to get in here to tighten the nut down. Super simple. I think they look really good. I like the way that they play off the silver on this body. And I think they add a little bit of bling to an otherwise, you know, sort of pedestrian looking scale rig. Now let's take it out to the flipometer to see how it does, and then I'm going to get some running video, but I'm going to try it out on my little course and see how it does. Remember, 49.5 was the maximum with stock wheels and tires. So we shot right into 50 degrees and really no problem whatsoever at 50. Front right is lifting a little bit, but front left is still getting the bite and pulling the truck up the incline. Then at 51, the right front lifts a little more and the left is skipping a little more, but we still get up the incline. The truck is slowly moving to the left. And then at 52, I got one run, this one right here. But I couldn't get 52 again before I had to leave. I ran out of time. And here we are really close, but no cigar. I tried a few more times. This was a 51.5. 51.5, we were back to success. So from 49.5 to 51.5 with just changing the wheels and tires. And the tires gripped really well. Here I put a little yellow rubber band, you might be able to see it at the bottom of the shock, to make some homemade limiting straps, and with the front end pulled down a little more, I was able to get 53, but I don't really consider that an official result, because I don't really think rubber bands are the best. Out on the rocks was where the biggest difference happened. So this is with stock wheels and tires. If you watch the back left, it slides off the rock, and once that happens, the truck does not recover. There it goes again. There's just a rock right there. The truck would never stay up. Here we are with the new wheels and tires, and this gives you a good view. If you watch the back left wheel, it gets that rock right there and stays. It doesn't slide down the rock. First try, gets over that tough spot. I gotta move my camera because I really didn't expect it to make it all the way on the first try. Gets through the rest of the rock pile. It even gives my tripod a shove. So consistently, time after time, once I had the new wheels and tires on there with the extra weight, it would make this line, whereas before I didn't get it to work one time. Look, it's even lifting the right front there. Still powers through. Even the way the truck is settling in between the rocks, you can tell that that added weight really keeps it planted. Taking it slow, still gets through. I was actually super surprised at how well it made it through with those new wheels. Look at it go. Keeps it settled. One of the biggest surprises is if you're not crawling this but trailing it, with that added weight, I wiped it out there, but you can see that in second gear, full bore, it's really hard, even on this uneven surface, to flip. It just performs great. So much fun. Yes, I shave. In conclusion, I'm really impressed. I didn't expect the wheels and tires to make such a huge difference out on the rocks. As you saw in those clips, a line that it just could not make time after time, now it can. 360 grams is a lot of weight. I don't think I'd be adding more weight to this truck. I think it'd be really interesting to try some tires that have more of a sidewall so that it gets a little more squish to conform to the rocks. And then when you're just on flat ground, you saw on my pavers, it's a little bit rough. Full bore, it just doesn't want to flip over at all. So that's really cool. As always, especially if you're still with me after all of that, thank you so much for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Please share if you happen to want to do that. Like and subscribe, ring that bell. I'm going to have a lot more stuff coming up. I'm going to try to get a little better at getting videos out. But again, just thank you so much. Please join me again. I look forward to bringing you all kinds of awesome videos. Take care.